Knicks post game live. Welcome to the number one Knicks fan show on social media, man. It's the first episode. Let's get this going.
Yep.
On social media, man. It's the first episode. Let's get this going.
Yep.
Knicks post game live. On social media, man. It's the first episode. Media, man. TNY, man.
Yep.
I got the Knicks post game live. On social media, man. It's the first episode. Media, man. TNY, man.
Yep.
Audio issues. I got the Knicks post game live. On social media, man. Alright, here we go. Yo, Jay Ellis, man. Nick of Time show was really good, my dude. How's everything going, man?
Everything's alright, man. We catching ass whoopings left and right, but I'm still a Knicks fan. It's all good.
Yo, we catching ass whoopings left and right, man. Boy, listen, man. You gotta ride with the team, man. You gotta ride with the team, bro.
Of course, man. Forever. Knicks fans forever, bro. I've been a Knicks fan since I was 8 years old. I'm gonna stop now?
Facts, man. So, listen, man. Another heartbreaking loss in LA last night. 128 to 105. The Knicks fall to the Clippers. Started off fairly well. Hitting a lot of three-pointers. Cannon stepped it up with his usual fast start at a double-double pace by halftime. You know, the squad was looking good. The squad was looking pretty good, man, I have to say. But things fell apart in the second half, man. What did you see out there?
First off, they punched us in the mouth in the second half. I'm kind of surprised that we did this well in the first half, to be honest with you, because it seemed like it was going to get away from us a little earlier, but we were a scrappy team. We kept fighting back. The main reason to me why we fell behind was probably a lot of our point guard defense. I know DeAndre Jordan ended up with a lot of points at the end. I think he had like 20 points or 19 rebounds or something like that. And you would think, something like that happens, you would say, all right, Kanter's not doing what he's supposed to do. Granted, Kanter is not like a defensive juggernaut. We all know that. He's grown a little bit this year. He's been in the right positions, but a lot of the reasons why I felt like DeAndre was scoring was the guard work. The guard work from the Clippers, they couldn't be stopped. They kept getting penetration whenever they wanted to.
Matador D, man. Point guard defense was atrocious last night. Matador D.
Yeah, man. That Olay defense that Clyde likes to say all the time. The Matador D. We kept having to rotate and kept having Kanter have to step up and guard people like Austin Rivers or Lou Williams, who pretty much did what they want. They would just wait for him to step up and lob it right to DeAndre Jordan. And a lot of our problems started at the defense, the point guard position, at least yesterday.
Yeah, we had no answers, man. Once the point guards got into the paint, it was nightmares. It was nightmare mismatches all over the place. I mean, I knew we didn't have an answer for DeAndre Jordan. Obviously, he's one of the most dominant big men in the game based on just his pure size. But going out there undersized to begin with, I thought we would have had a better game plan going into the game. But, these guys really faltered. And, that's one thing with Kanter, man, is his defense. As much as he gives us on the offensive end, he takes it right back away on the defensive end, man. And I'm just not sure about his long-term prowess. What you think about Kanter out there?
I mean, I'm always going to be hashtag keep Kanter. That's always been my thing. That's been my slogan. So pretty much, Kanter is not like a defensive juggernaut, but that's why we even had KP there. KP kind of litigated that a little bit. Today he had a really good offensive game. He did what he did. He played a little bit of bully ball, even with DeAndre there. Sometimes DeAndre went to help, and when DeAndre went to help, Kanter stepped up, got his offensive rebounds like he usually does, and scored the bucket. So I liked what he did on that end. But I don't know. I feel like the NBA is a point guard heavy league. And the pick and roll is one of the most used plays in the league, and we couldn't stop it. And usually when a team runs a pick and roll, it's not always one person's fault or the other person's fault. Sometimes we share the blame, and sometimes it's one more or the other. And I feel I still kind of feel like this game our guards defense let us down in general, and not even just
But but look at the guards who they went up against last night, right? You're going up against Austin Rivers. You know, Lou Williams is Lou Williams. He's a beast. You know what I mean? He's an absolute sniper. He's an assassin. But even still, you know, as far as dribble penetration goes, we couldn't stop anybody. I mean, it seemed like, you know, Mudiay comes in here, and now we hearing that he's not in shape. Like, how are you not in shape and the season is almost over? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really grasp that.
I don't know, man. He wasn't getting a lot of playing time with the Nuggets. He's supposed to stay ready, so you don't have to get ready.
Stay ready, man.
Stay ready. Yeah, that's the saying. But I guess he wasn't staying ready at the Nuggets. Granted, I mean, that could speak to his mentality when he was there. Sometimes a change of scenery helps change the player's mentality. But it is what it is right now. I read just like you that he's been kind of not been in shape, and he's been staying after practice doing kind of like these running exercises. But yeah, you know what too? Mudiay's defense, right? Mudiay's defense in general isn't all that good. I've seen I know when he came in the league, the thing on him is that he's a good defender, but I feel like him personally, when he's into pick and rolls, he doesn't really go over the pick skinny. He kind of takes like a wide range around the pick, and I feel like a lot of his problems I feel like that's a lot of the problems why point guards get past him in general. But yeah, man, Mudiay definitely needs to get back in shape.
I can't understand how you're talking about a guy not in shape and the season is almost over, man. I don't know what I'm missing. But you know,
the Kanye workout plan.
I just can't understand it, man. I just can't understand it. But that kind of brings me to going into this point guard situation. It's like, if you the coach, right, and you saying, well, Mudiay, he's not in shape, he's not ready. Why is he starting? You know what I'm saying? You drafted Frank Ntilikina, then you bring in Trey. It seems like they don't see Frank as the point guard of the future, which, it is what it is. We drafted him. But at the same time, why interject Mudiay into the starting lineup right away ahead of these guys when Trey Burke is clearly outplaying him, and we still want to see Frank get some minutes to see what he could do, even in the off guard role.
You know what? Jeff likes veterans, I guess. I don't know. He likes Jeff. I mean, Mudiay is not really a veteran, but he likes. I feel like he likes what he likes until you show him otherwise. Right now, it seems like the shooting guard position might be Frank's best position as of now. He can pass for sure. His dribble, his handle is a little underrated. But I think he sometimes lacks a little bit of that aggression you need to be a point guard. Sometimes he tends to bring the ball up and pass it off to like a power forward or a center when he doesn't need to really do that. And that might be a problem that kind of messes up the flow of the offense. So that could be a lot of reasons why Jeff doesn't feel comfortable right now letting Frank run the point guard position. Now, if you look at the game like I'm looking at the game, though, it seems like Trey and Frank have like kind of a synergy going together. So if you really, those two to me probably should start, in my opinion. I feel like the Knicks do better when.
What about Tim Hardaway Jr.? I mean, I think that becomes the conundrum with trying to say that, you're going to get Frank in at the off guard position and get him in there with either Trey Burke or Mudiay. It's going to be off the bench to me. Because,
but what about Courtney Lee?
There you go.
Courtney Lee is still playing. That was the other game a problem I had with this game. Courtney Lee first half, he has 19 minutes for the game. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know what, Jeff, right before the All-Star break, you said, you know what, we're going to have a youth movement, and those players are going to be playing a little bit more. So in the first half, you have Courtney Lee playing 19 minutes, you have Frank playing 7, and you have Dotson having 0.
Yeah.
So it's a head scratcher. I don't understand that mindset. I feel like old habits die hard with Jeff Hornacek sometimes, man. But to answer your question, you can easily slide Tim to the 3. If anything,
you want to slide Tim to the 3?
You could, if you want to do the Frank, if you want to do the quick guard set. I mean, we had a little. You don't, because Jeff likes playing a lot of small guards. We had a set where it was Mudiay, Burke, and Frank, and we had that set running for like 3 minutes, and it worked.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Timmy at the 3 scares me defensively, man. You know, he's regressed, man. He's regressed. I mean, people want to talk about the injury. I think he's worn out mentally.
Regress talking about
in all facets of the game. I think he just I think the injury taking a toll on him. I think the season on the whole is taking a toll on him, and I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Tim Hardaway Jr., man. The verdict is still out on him.
I don't think he regressed. I mean, defensively, he's always been up and down to me. That was always the thing. I feel like his one-on-one defensively, sometimes people have the tendency to just go right by him. Team defense, I've seen like he plays pretty good team defense a lot of the times. I don't know. I don't know about defensively if he stepped back. Today, I felt like he had problems fighting over screens, but that was today. But offensively, I feel like he's picked it up over the last few games. So I don't know if I really agree with you all across the board that he's regressed. I don't know about that. But that's my opinion.
I mean, to me, it's just it's the consistency to me when it comes to Tim Hardaway Jr., man. It's I just feel like he's a guy you really just can't trust. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's a guy you can't trust, and you gave him all that money. And, one night he's going to come out, he's going to give you 25 and 7. He's going to give you, an electric moment. And then the next night it's like, 10 points. You're going to shoot you out the gym. I feel like that it just comes to be expected, what you're going to get from Timmy on a given night, man. I just feel like that's just how it is. What we just going to have to deal with.
Listen, man, it's the verdict. Listen, we knew kind of going forward, this is his first time in a starting position. You know what I'm saying? He came in the league with the Knicks, got bounced to the Atlanta Hawks, got put in the G League. He played his first significant minutes, big minutes, a season ago with the Hawks. And he came on towards the end once everybody got traded. But we really didn't know what we were getting. And I know people were really high on having Tim here. But we really didn't know. This is his first time getting starters minutes in a starter role and being, relied on night after night after night. With that being said, is what he is? I don't know. He might have to grow into that role of being a starter. I know he has potential to be good. I know just right now he's a little J.R. Smithish with his shot selection sometimes.
And that's my point. That's my point. Is that you paying this guy $17 million a year, and listen, the money is what it is. He earned it. Shout out to his agent for negotiating that. But I'm talking about from a management perspective. When you giving a guy that type of money, I want to see a bit more consistency at some facet of his game, whether it's going to be the shooting, whether it's going to be, creating for others, whether it's going to be his defense. There has to be something there that you can say, okay, if he doesn't have it one night, he's going to have it the next night, or if he doesn't have, this facet of his game working tonight, you could at least, guarantee that he's going to bring it on some other aspect. And that's just, to me, once the shot's off, he's out of. He checks out of the game.
That's not entirely true, though. I'm not even gonna. I agree with you that he needs to step it up sometimes, but that's not entirely true because there was like the games, even the Bucks games when he had a off night, he ended up like 7 assists or something crazy like that. So I know that's not true, but I do agree that he needs to be more consistent. It remains to be seen. The franchise, our franchise in general, they made that move. Kind of almost thinking like Phil, but they feel like, you know what, they're trying to buy low on stock because they see that his stock was rising in Atlanta, and hopefully it will pay off in the end. I know that's what they're thinking because he's getting paid $72 million, which is a starting shooting guard pay grade. But will he rise into that? I don't know. My question for you is though, do you think we should have signed Justin Holiday?
No, I think we could have afforded to let him walk. I like the hustle that he gave us, last year. It was a cheaper deal. I think you probably would have been better off with him over Baker than giving Baker that money. At the same time, man, his shooting percentage is so low. We need a bit more consistency on that. And for what he could have brought to the game as, a 3-and-D type of player, a hustle guy, a defensive guy, he was a decent player. He played fairly well for us in spurts last year, but, I thought he was expendable.
I feel you. I mean, the Knicks made that move with Tim with one eye on the youth movement. That's really what it was about, really. Because, all right, we don't get Tim. We signed Justin Holiday. We're here with Courtney Lee. And I guess when Courtney Lee leaves, then what? I guess we're looking at the draft? I don't know. So, I mean, that's what they're thinking. I guess they might have been thinking like you, that they wasn't too confident in Justin Holiday. I was thinking maybe Justin Holiday could do something. Who knows? It would have been a lot cheaper, and we probably could have got like a more expensive point guard, if anything. I know Rondo was available around that time. That's what I was thinking back in the summer.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I thought over Jack, they probably could have went with Rondo, but shit. Knowing how much drama, even with the whole nose situation that played out this year, man, Rondo probably would have been even a worse idea, man. We probably would have been screwed. We bring Rondo in here. So it's probably a blessing in disguise that it didn't work out that way. You know what I mean?
Word. True. Very, very true.
Yeah, man.
But it is what it is for right now. I mean, we got Tim Hardaway Jr. He still has a chance to turn things around. He has 1 year under his belt for being, a starter.
Facts.
His body is going. He should get used to it now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes next season. And if it's a repeat of the same next season, then we can start really being tougher on him. Like, you know what? I haven't seen growth. What are you doing? Right now, I haven't been super tough on Timmy. I've been so-so. I think I've been fair on Timmy. But next year, I'm probably going to be grading him a little bit tougher.
You're going to have to. I mean, like I said, for that investment, you're going to have to see growth. I don't know if Jeff is going to be the coach that's going to, settle him down a little bit. It seems like the coach of the Hawks, Budenholzer, was able to kind of rein him in, and he was able to really contribute well for that team last year. But I'm not sure if Hornacek is the coach. Speaking of which, my man Yaron jumped in the YouTube live chat. Yaron, salute to you.
Yo, what's going on, Yaron?
So Yaron saying, what do you think about Doc or Mark Jackson as the next head coach? What do you think about those rumors, man, between Doc Rivers and Mark Jackson?
Team Mark Jackson all the way. I know both of these guys are fellow Knicks, but Mark Jackson has that pedigree. He took Golden State from an obscure team into a contending team, teaching them how to play defense consistently. And I feel like if he was here with the Knicks, that would be the same thing happening here. Doc Rivers, on the other hand, a lot of people don't like Doc Rivers because of what happened with the Clippers.
It's so funny how he went from being a superstar coach to being completely vilified. I mean, I know I brought the topic up on my page, and overwhelmingly the response was like, nah, hell no. Do not bring Doc Rivers here, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel as strongly as the fans do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's not... Coaching is not like coaching is not like playing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's not like Joakim Noah, for example. He was the man when he was with the Bulls, defensive player of the year, 20 rebounds a game, 5 assists, MVP candidate, whatever, right? He's older, his body can't do the same things, right? Now he's not able to really contribute like he used to. I don't know if all that basketball knowledge goes away. You know, he was on the Celtics. I remember he was on the Celtics, and he was out coaching us when he was on the Celtics. So I'm not saying I want Doc Rivers here over Mark Jackson. That's not what I'm saying, but I don't think it's like the absolute wrong, completely wrong move. It's just going to be horrible, destroy the franchise. I don't think it's as gloom and doom as other fans think.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think I was one of the first people to really bring up the name Doc Rivers back when the Clippers made that Blake trade, because then it was clear that even when they traded CP3, it was clear that they were going to start to destroy that thing piece by piece. The Blake trade was even further confirmation of it. And I said, you know what, Doc could easily shake loose out of this thing. And I still think he'd be an upgrade over Hornacek. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, play is play. And they made it in the West consistently. They made it to the playoffs in the West consistently. I think you need to give them credit for that. Obviously, they had CP3 as a floor general, but I think with Doc and Woodson as a coach, I think it still impacted that team. And like I said, they made it consistently. It was one year, I believe it was the year they lost to the Spurs. I thought that was their best chance. And I thought, you know, they came up with a raw deal in terms of, I think it was the 4-5 matchup in the West playoffs. They went up against the Spurs and lost, I think, lost in 7. But that team was deep. That was a good team, man. And I thought if they would have gotten past the Spurs, I thought they could have made a run even at Golden State that year. I think that was Golden State's first year and making a run at the championship. But
was that the year they choked? Because there was one year where they were up. They were up, and all they had to do was win one game.
All they had to do was win one game.
And they choked.
They choked it out. So is that on coach?
Yeah, I'm about to ask you. Yeah, we on the same page. Is that on the coach? I'm not sure, man.
Is that on the coach? Maybe, but like I said, we'll see. And then as far as Mark Jackson, it's like, listen, I would love to see Mark Jackson here. My whole thing is, I still don't understand. Well, I guess I do understand, but it gives me reason to pause when a guy like that does not get interviews after rebuilding that Golden State team and taking them that far. You know, you've heard rumors like he doesn't pick his assistant coaches well, or, you know, he's bringing religion into the locker room. So I don't know if it's a case of is he turning down offers? Does he still want to coach, or is he blackballed from the league? What you think about that?
I was thinking, you read my mind, man. There's something going on there. You don't just leave a franchise like that with a successful record for no reason. Something is happening behind the scenes that we really don't know about. So I know how he has a reputation of being like a really stern and I don't know if this is a personality thing, but there's something is there, man. Something is there with Mark.
Something is there, you know.
Something.
I don't know what it is.
If I don't know if he got another shot, will things change? I don't know if he even wants another shot or not. Maybe it's just the wrong situation. The wrong teams are hitting him up. But he obviously has a gift for coaching because he turned that team around. Ironically, I probably would have like offensive coach around him because I still feel like offensively there were still some things he could have tweaked. And when he left, there was some certain offensive sets kind of got updated, and Golden State started taking things to another level. But defensively, though, I feel like he's the type of person who can lead, who can lay the groundwork for some defensive fundamentals.
We need
going forward.
We need defense bad, man.
Yeah,
we need defense bad. I'm telling you, man. Well, it's I would love, like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing Doc and Woodson back together, man. Bringing that toughness and that defense back to New York, because they would know what we need.
Yeah, man. Woodson did good when he was here. Woodson
Yeah.
did well.
Except for that ISO ball. That's not gonna work, right?
Yeah, no. We can't do not. Listen. We are not ISO and KP.
That's
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 not
that's the
happening.
ISO king right there. You don't want
Word.
him calling the offensive plays.
Yeah, man. Listen.
Defensively, I knew he was gonna help us turn it around, and that's when you saw that 50-something win team, man, where we lost to the Pacers in the second round. That team played defense. They had the leadership to help on the defensive end, but I think part of that was Woodson, though, man.
Yeah, can you imagine KP doing ISO right now? Nah, man.
Nah, nah,
Oh,
nah.
and 82.
We can't have it. So I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out in terms of the coaching search. Another name, a sleeper pick could be Jeff Van Gundy. You never know.
That'd be dope. I wonder if he has the same. He's been out the league so long. I wonder if he still has, if he's gonna be running 1990 sets, and he's gonna be like no 3-point shooters. Has his mind upgraded to the modern NBA? I don't know, because Phil Jackson.
Right.
Phil Jackson, he was he didn't like 3-pointers. I think it was at one point he was discouraging Porzingis from shooting threes. So I'm like, I like Jeff though. So
yeah, I would love to see Jeff come back, or maybe even a lot of people. This is the thing, though. A lot of people say, bring somebody off the college scene. We need young, fresh legs. Just because they come from college don't mean they're gonna turn into Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens is a good coach. You know what I mean? When the Celtics picked him up, that was a great pickup. They knew they were gonna take their lumps, but what he had him do? He had him playing hard despite the roster. And when you have a coach like that, these guys are running through walls for him. As the general manager is continuing to add pieces, the Jaylen Browns, the Tatums, and they building and they keep building. They're gonna be a formidable team when LeBron hits that sunset on his career. The Celtics is next. I mean, based on just how the team is constructed right now. So I think Brad Stevens is a good team, but I say that to say, a college coach doesn't necessarily equate to success. It has to be the right coach.
yeah, most definitely, man. Listen, I'm tired of experimenting with like all these new things to see if it's gonna work for us. I know we had Derek Fisher here one time. He never coached a day in his life. Came to the Knicks, started coaching, and the first year was horrible. His timeout plays were horrible. He's learning on the fly, and I know we're rebuilding, but damn, like not now. So I'd rather have a coach that's been there, done that, or at least has a reputation and a pedigree. Even if you're looking at Tisdale or something like that. But yeah,
Fizdale is another hot candidate, man. Fizdale is definitely another hot candidate. You know what I'm saying? But what else is going on the docket, man? So that was a tough loss. But, listen, the season is over. Obviously, we know that. The rest of the season, to me, is about evaluating. You want to evaluate the coach. You want to evaluate, we have this three-headed, not a monster, but I would say a logjam at the point guard position. We drafted one.
Man.
It's a lot of question marks, man, that, you want to see some sort of development as we continue to finish out this season.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I want to see what we're gonna do. But for that to happen, Jeff, man. Jeff. I mean, you gotta play.
Jeff
you gotta
could very
play.
well be back next year. You don't know.
He could be back, and I'm either or on Jeff being back next season. I definitely, because I'm so tired of not having consistent roster from year to year and consistent game plan, and consistent plays to run from, and build off from year to year. Part of my fear of keep switching out coaches every other year, is this having that mentality like, damn, you got to restart again.
Yeah. We always restarting. We always resetting. Whether it was the 80-something players we had in and out of here when Carmelo was here during that era, that 7-year term, or the coaches, what we run through. We had Woodson. We had D'Antoni. We had, who was after that? Fisher.
Right.
And now Hornacek. When do we get a chance to get some consistency in here from the coaching standpoint?
For real. I mean, here's the thing too, like with the whole Joakim Noah situation happening, I don't even know, because you heard that Jeff was the one who instigated the altercation between him and Joakim Noah. He was the one who actually pushed Noah.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Right?
That's
you hear
yeah.
He thought he was in the 90s again. He thought he was playing the Bulls or something. I don't know. But he had a flashback and he pushed Noah. Whatever.
That's bugged
Noah's
out
from the
to
Bulls. He was like, oh my God. Bugged out, push Noah. Anyway, something like that happens, you expect some repercussions to happen, right?
Facts.
In the beginning of the season, they said Steve Mills said he was not going to make an in-season coaching change. But you just think all these players get reprimanded for dumb stuff. Like J.R. Smith is throwing soup at people. He gets suspended a game.
He threw the whole shit. Like
yeah, like nobody left Shane Crowder that much. But he's doing all these shenanigans. Jeff's getting away scot-free. So I'm not sure what will happen, if that's going to be even a factor when it comes to are we keeping Jeff next year or not. But you never know. I'm kind of mixed on that. I actually would want to see Jeff here another year, just to give people a continuation of just like I said, like so some familiarity from year to year to build on certain plays and players and just getting like a routine going. I do feel like something needs to be added though, bare minimum, because the defense is so bad. I feel like it was a point of emphasis in the beginning of the year, but as the years waned, I don't know, they forgot about it. I don't know.
But see, that's the thing though that I don't understand is that the coach comes in and he's like, these dudes ain't playing defense. This was last night's press conference. He's
right.
Like, these dudes ain't playing defense, blah, 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 blah. Like, where was that all year? And where was the accountability at all year? If dude's not playing defense, make that substitution. Popovich will make that substitution right away. Sit your ass down. Bring in somebody. He don't care if it's the 13th man off the bench. He's making a statement. You either going to play defense or you're going to sit the bench.
Yeah, man. Here's the thing, too. I'm not even necessarily sure that we didn't play defense. I think we just didn't have the talent to keep up with them, to be honest with you. Or
to keep up with Austin Rivers, though?
Yo. Son.
To keep up with Austin Rivers?
Trey Burke came in the game in the third quarter and tried to go to Austin. Right? Trey Burke, I've been watching him since he's come here. He's played pretty good defense.
He tries. He tries.
He's like considering his height, right? He recovers well. He pretty much keeps his man in front of him. I don't know. I'm not saying Austin Rivers is Jordan, but last night Austin Rivers was put Trey in the blender.
Listen. Don't get me wrong. Austin Rivers has handles, but
I know people like to joke because it's Doc Rivers' son, but Austin Rivers isn't a complete scrub.
Facts. No, he's not a scrub. Don't get me wrong, but I still, even Frank, nobody had an answer.
Frank was guarding two guards all night. He was guarding Lou Williams. What was he doing with that? Yeah. Lou was cooking everybody.
Yeah. Lou Will is gonna cook. Lou Will is gonna cook when he can cook, man. That's just what it is. Lou Will is gonna cook when he can cook.
And Mudiay, listen. Our guards were not good defensively last night. I don't know if it's a lack of trouble, and not even just our guards. Our forwards couldn't guard them in either on cuts, but I don't even know if it's even completely their fault because I felt like our whole offense collapsed once the guards were beaten. So I don't know, Jeff. I don't know if that's on our players or on you for not actually teaching how to play defense in certain situations. I'm not sure.
I think that their defensive game plan maybe is there, but I don't think we got the right players out there. Like I said, Canner is a huge liability on the defensive end. A huge liability on the defensive end. And, Beasley, same way. I think Beasley's checked out. I think he's checked out.
There. And, he definitely checked out.
Yeah. And so, it's a tall order. it's a tall order, man, to ask for when the season is over, and these guys have nothing to play for. It's hard to get to get up for these type of games. They seem like guys out on the West Coast, just hanging out, enjoying the sun, man.
Yeah, man. Even the practice they had, I read the practice that they had. It wasn't even like a full on practice. Practice. They was running scrimmages.
Yeah.
There was. Did you see that?
Fact.
They picked their own team. It was like a playground style. I mean, it sounds fun. Stressful season, but I mean that's the vibe that we doing right now. And I agree with you. I haven't seen a Beasley line in a long time.
Yo, let him walk, man.
Bro.
Let him walk, man. We're good on Beasley, man. We don't need Beasley, bro. That's just how I feel, man. I think he's given us. He's. Here's the thing with Beasley, right?
MVBs.
I think he has. He's earned his shot to extend his career in the NBA. I think that you can't rely on him. That's my whole thing. I think if he was a reliable player, I think we could have traded him at the trade deadline. But I think a lot of teams understand that he's a guy. He's gonna show up one day and he's gonna disappear the next. You know what I'm saying? One night he was strapped in, next night you can't find him. And I think he's just a little bit too lethargic to me. To commit to a guy like that on a long-term basis. That's just me.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you completely here. I feel like Beasley, at the beginning of the season, kind of had a scrap for his man, and once he got him, I feel like he did well for a stretch. I feel like a few things happened. Beasley was a leading scorer off the bench, and I feel like when Trey Burke got here, the role started to shift a little bit. For one. Two, after KP went down, he absolutely I feel like he checked out. Like you said. He's a veteran. He is like what's his motivation at this point? I'm not sure.
Your motivation should be that shit. You got a contract to earn. This could be his last major deal before it's curtains for him, before you're looking at straight vet minimum. So for a guy like that, you playing for your future. You need to step it up. Now is a prime opportunity with KP gone to show and prove out there to us or to the Knicks front office or to any other of the 31 teams.
I feel you, but I kind of see. I don't know. I kind of see it's like at one point in the season he was like mentioning that he was throwing his name in the hat for like six man of the year. It was a stretch where he was going in hand.
He was.
So
he might still be second. In the league with points off the bench.
Right. Like I don't know what his stats are offhand. Maybe you can look that up. But Beasley, I know off the top has been shooting 50%.
All right, let's go to Beasley, man. Let's break down Beasley here. Give me 1 second. Let me adjust.
I just know, and because I know I was having a discussion like. There was a point of the season where I felt way more comfortable having Beasley create one-on-one than KP or anybody else on the team because he seemed like he was just getting it done over and over again. Now, I do understand the problem with Beasley sometimes is he gets a little – I feel like the more minutes he plays, the more he kind of checks out once you get into that – when you start hit that 30-minute mark and, fatigue sets in – I feel like he starts to check out around there.
But that's what I'm saying in terms of trust, my man. You don't know what you're gonna get from him on a regular basis. You just don't know what you're gonna get from him on a regular basis. All right, so let's go into it, right? Field goal percentage, he's shooting 50% in the field, which is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? He's averaging 12 and 5. Off the bench. Like I said, man, those are decent numbers, but here we go. Look at his game log, his last 5 games. All right, against the Wizards, 16 and 11. Next night, 7 and 4. Next night, 15 and 8. Right. Next night, 2 and 4. like,
But we talking about, bro. We talking about when KP is done, the season is over. Jeff is talking about benching Jack. We're gonna rebuild.
I hear that.
We talking about when we was in the hunt. Beasley was on. I don't even know how half of these veterans even playing really right now. Like, I felt like he proved himself already.
Listen, man. Like I said, if you are trying to get a contract out here, to me, you need to be still. Your season is not over. The team season is over, but your season is not over.
And plus, I feel like his role has changed.
In what way?
His role has changed. I mean, let's be honest. Like, Cantor, KP going down messes up the whole team's chemistry. You know what I'm saying? There's a wrinkle effect that happens. When KP was in the starting lineup, there was an offense-defense thing going on with Cantor and KP. You're able to kind of sustain that a little bit more. Now we are in a position where we've taken out KP and we putting in Beasley. Beasley is not going to cover for Cantor's mistakes. That pairing isn't a good pairing in general. So it's like his whole and I feel like that whole pairing kind of has a ripple effect throughout the whole team and through the whole flow of the game. When he was coming off the bench, his role was just to get buckets, and that was it. And at least he had KO backing him up because KO plays some remnants of defense. So I felt like that role was good for him, and that's probably a lot of the reason why he was progressing and he was doing his thing. So I'm not sure you can blame everything after the KP injury on Beasley. I feel like Beasley did what he had to do for the most part. I'm not saying give Beasley a huge contract. I'm not saying give him $20 million, but I think he earned the spot. And from what I'm reading, he wants to stay in New York. So I'm like, hey, well, why not? He hasn't sucked. He's played his six man get the buckets role pretty well. And then when KP comes back, he'll be doing that again.
Nah, I'll let him walk, man. Listen, I tell him, listen, thanks for coming through. You know, we had a couple of good games. We were entertained, but listen, you can't pay everybody, right? You getting to the point where Cantor's probably gonna opt into that deal. That's $18 million, right?
Right.
KO, and this is going to lead into that KO segment. You have KO here who is going to be looking for some cash as well. You know, you can't pay everybody, man. You can't pay everybody when you're trying to manage the cap and get as much flexibility as you can going into 2019, 2020 free agency. You're going to have to make some sacrifices, man. And I think we don't want too many guys that are just not mentally with it, man. You still got to harness in Tim Hardaway Jr. You know what I'm saying? With Beasley, like I say, he played well. He surprised me this year. But it's telling to me, with the season being over and a guy fighting for a contract, that he's not consistently trying to take advantage of the minutes. Now, he got hurt last night. I'm not sure the extent of the injury, so we'll see what happens. With the rest of the year. But I'm not too sure about Beasley, man. Not too sure about Beasley.
I feel you. I mean, agree, disagree. I'm seeing B. I really want to see a lot of the players have to do next year when we have some consistency. I still feel like we need a defensive coach on our squad, but I'm not as low on Beasley as you are, obviously.
Yeah, now we need defense big time, man.
No, we do need defense big time.
We need defense big time. So let's get into the KO situation because earlier this week KO was interviewed, obviously about the prospects of the off season. and what he's going to do going forward. Obviously, he can opt out of his deal. This year, he's making $4.5 million with the option to come back next year. Obviously, he's earned a raise. I think KO got Billy shipped out. Right. Based on his play, he got Billy shipped out of here. And, Billy was underwhelming. I thought KO came in, filled in a great role off the bench. He was a toughness. He brought rebounding. He brought great passing. He brought some smarts. And I thought he played according to his contract. He was averaging 6 points, 5.6 to 6 rebounds this year, 1 block, to almost 2 dimes. So I thought KO played well. Now last night he didn't really bring shit, but
he only played 15 minutes last night.
Yeah, he only played 15 minutes last night. So what do you think in terms of KO? Like I said, he's making $4 million this year. He got 2 more years left, and he's gonna be looking to get a raise, and I think he'll be able to get that. What do you think? Should they let him test the market, or should they try to lock him up with a deal?
Here is the thing. Here's the thing on KO. I'm not sure if I know he's played well, and I know his value has gone up since he's been here. I liked his journey. He came in here. He wasn't a defensive player when he got here. KO was probably one of the good moves that Phil's made. He wasn't a defensive player when he got here. He came here. He lost weight. A couple of years later, all of a sudden, he's averaging like 3 blocks per 36 minutes, right? Jeff came out here and said he wasn't a defensive player. He just blocked shots. So he tried to even do that. He blocked less shots and tried to play more positional defense. So I appreciate everything KO has done. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm on the fence about KO. And I wasn't always on the fence about KO, but I'm on the fence about KO, not because he hasn't played well. It's just because, like you said, we do need defense. And players like tonight, DeAndre Jordan was pretty much just bigger and taller than everybody, and can just jump over everybody.
But to the coach, and not to cut you off, but to the coach, even though I disagreed with the coach admonishing the team this late in the season about defense when he should have been doing that all year, the coach was right. Where was the hard fouls? The physicality, the physicality against DeAndre Jordan. All that was they played soft last night. Pause. But they played soft last night. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta keep it real here.
They got dismantled, bro. I feel like it's a lot more. I feel like it's a matchup thing, man. It's a matchup thing.
Yeah, they wasn't gonna have no answer for him.
Think about when we had Tyson Chandler, right? There was a day we had Tyson Chandler and Raymond Felton. Tyson Chandler was just so tall that if Raymond had a step on his man and the big man came to help for like 1 second, it was a lob. Easy dunk. And that's what happened with us yesterday. And we kind of need some athletic person to help disrupt that. The most athletic person we had last season to help kind of disrupt plays like that was KP. Now KP is down. Our second best defensive man we have available right now is KO. But he's not that type of man. He's going to jump up to the sky and block, a lob pass. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it was a lot to ask for. Containing DeAndre last night.
Yeah,
but I think it's gonna be a hard decision, man. Because if you lose KO, you really losing a lot of that toughness off your bench, man. What you really
man,
you need that. You need that, and I just don't see. There's nobody that even plays as hard as he does on that end off the bench. It's gonna be a tough call, man. It's gonna be a tough call. Sometimes I even think I'd rather sign KO on the cheap than give Canner all that money in the next 1 or 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I know we agree to disagree on that all the time, but that's just my thinking. I feel like this team can be built a bit differently without feeling that you're gonna lose out on. Canada's a walking double-double. Don't get me wrong, but are you really gonna max out a guy that's only plays on one side of the ball?
Nobody said max him out. First of all,
look at the salaries though. All right, put it this way: if he opts in this year, right, it's at $18 million. How much more do you think you're gonna make in 2019? At the time when you're trying to get as much cap space as you can to try to attract free agents.
I mean, it depends. I'm saying if you really like New York as much as you say you do, you're gonna keep us around the same price because we still got to re-sign KP and make some moves out here, and he does. And listen, like he cleans up a lot of mistakes. He cleans up a lot of mistakes. All those missed shots that we made. You think, bro? We lost by what? 20-something?
Yeah,
20-something yesterday. If Cantor wasn't there. As good as KO was, he wasn't scoring.
Facts.
He wasn't scoring, and he wasn't going to stop DeAndre. That would have been a 40-point lead.
Facts.
So
listen, man. Like I said, I like Cannon, man, but you're gonna come to a crossroad when you looking. Number one, you got to figure out: are you gonna max out KP this off season, which I think they said represents 25% of the cap. You're still dealing with the Noah situation. You don't know which way that's going to end up, whether you're going to have to stretch him out after next season,
right?
Buy him out at this summer. You don't know which way it's going to go, but you're expecting you're going to take some sort of cap hit either way. You have Timmy locked in on an average of $17, $18 million coming up over the next 3 years. So, go ahead.
Here's my thing with KO. Here's my thing. Like, in my dream scenario, I would like to keep KO, and then and bring in an athletic center that we can test. Like I know Noel on Dallas might be available, and I know when he was on the Sixers, he was that type of center who kind of cover your bases. He almost like a little safety. He can block and play defense well, and he can probably fare a lot better against the DeAndres of the world. KO does so many things well, like passing out the high post, bringing the big man out, cutting the people who go to the hole. He does so many things well. I really don't want to lose KO. I really don't. So I'm with you. And that's why I'm saying I'm on the fence, because I don't know how much. I don't know what it is. I don't know how much it's going to cost. Right now he's around 4.5. If he stays around that area, I'm willing to go like 7. You know what I'm saying?
He could command as much as 10. He could command as much as 10 if you're looking at the salaries.
He probably could.
If you're looking at the salaries these dudes are making this past when the salary cap increased, I mean, dudes was getting bags out the ass.
No, you're definitely right about that. But I feel like people are a little more reserved right now, because even if you look at what was happening during the offseason, during the right before the trade break, right, the trade deadline, reports came out that Steve Mills was not higher on KO or Willie. I don't know if that was a smokescreen or what, but they got 2 second-round picks for Willie.
Who's not really getting that much burn in Charlotte right now, buddy.
Yo, it's crazy, man. That's crazy. I mean, we all kind of saw it coming. They have too much big men in Charlotte too. You're not getting minutes over Dwight Howard. Like, come on.
True.
You know, that's not happening. It's not happening.
I mean, shit, I figured he could get a little something, a little action out there.
No, he didn't play any defense. What action was he getting?
Well, that's true.
He didn't play any defense. He didn't. He was. You want to talk about Kansas defense? Willie's defense was abysmal, man. His was next level, bro.
Yeah. Willie was getting moved around left and right out there, man. He was getting moved around easily.
That Golden State game, he wasn't guarding anybody for like a good 5 though, and that was his first game back. I would have been hungry.
Facts.
But what it is. I'm not sure. I said that to say I'm not sure if he was getting any first round picks for KO, because the way that things are going, they made it believe that if we would get something like that, he might be moved. But since we didn't, there might be there might be some kind of hope that we can sign him for a reasonable deal.
Yeah, we'll see, man. It'll be interesting to see how these guys view him and what we're gonna do in the off season. It's gonna be a lot of question marks. It's definitely gonna be a lot of question marks, man. You know
Most
what I'm
definitely.
saying? So yeah, man. Yo, this is the first episode of Post Game Live, man. What you think, man? I think we covered all the bases. I think this was a good debut episode. Obviously, we want to get some fan call in on the next one.
Most definitely.
What's the next game? Let's check the next game.
Sunday night, I believe.
Sunday night in Sacramento, 9:00. That's kind of crazy, but yeah, man. Let's definitely do this again, bro.
Yeah, man, most definitely, man. You know I love talking Knicks. That's what I do.
Yeah, man. Knicks Nation, appreciate y'all joining us on the first episode. We gonna be here, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. We the most passionate, loyal fan base in all the NBA, all the sports. This is why we do this, man. We love the Knicks. We love talking Knicks. No matter the weather, man. Good times or bad times, that's what it is, man. If you're following us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. If you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you follow our respective pages, man, so you don't miss out on the next show. Don't miss out on the next news. Yeah, man, and that's it, man. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. And, yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Later.